Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. This is Mirna from Mirna's Calm Joys. Today I have a new pen to show you guys. This beautiful Montblanc pen is my Holy Grail pen. And at the same time, this is also my first Montblanc pen ever. And I'm gonna talk in this video a little bit about why is it my Holy Grail pen. I'm gonna show an unboxing from the day that I bought it a month ago, and I'm gonna show you all of the specs of the pen and the story that this pen represents. So back 25 years ago in my 20s, I was studying German language and literature at the University of Zagreb in my home country, Croatia, at the Faculty of Humanities and Social Sciences. And part of my studies were German language and literature, and as a second major, philosophy. So I'm a graduate German language teacher, translator, and I'm also a teacher, high school professor for philosophy. So this pen, as soon as I saw it, I felt so personally connected to it. And that's why it is my Holy Grail pen. As you can see from the box, this is the Montblanc Writer's Edition, limited edition 1812 fountain pen. Meaning this is a writer's edition. It is homage to the brothers Grimm. And some of you know, or maybe have heard in your childhood, you know about them from Disney too, but Brothers Grimm were a very important part of German history, German language, and German literature. They were scholars, they were writers, they were lexicographers, and they were philologists. I studied about them at my university studies and remember the days when I was schlepping all those heavy dictionaries to the exams, to take the exams for translations. And Brothers Grimm also have part in that, which I'm gonna come a little bit later too. And I never imagined having or possessing this pen one day. But as soon as I saw it in 2022 when it came out, not this particular one, I wanted first the black version of this pen. I didn't even know this existed when I first saw the Black Brothers Grimm one. And then later I learned about this one when I saw it 2 years or a year and a half ago, 2 years ago at Yorkdale Mall, when we were walking through the mall and walking into the Montblanc boutique. And they didn't have the fountain pen at that time, only a rollerball too. But the lovely Sophia showed me the pen. And we were talking about the black one, and I fell in love. And I thought, okay, black one, that's my Holy Grail pen. I never thought that I would one day possess this gorgeous and beautiful masterpiece of a pen. So Montblanc, thank you for producing such a gorgeous writing instrument. This is beyond words. This pen represents so much. And so much is put into this pen of the Brothers Grimm work, of their linguistic work, and of their lexicography work. So you're gonna see in a moment what I mean by that. I'm actually going to insert the unboxing part that I filmed the first day, and then I'm going to come back and talk of all the specifications of this pen. So you're going to see the unboxing and the inking of the pen now. The box of the pen is made to resemble the book, like all writers' editions, and it says limited edition homage to Brothers Grimm. So we have two books inside, a small one, and I know what this is. I'm gonna explain a little bit later, but let me show you a pen. I'm gonna come to the small book bit in a second. So the book opens like this with a booklet inside. The Brothers Grimm, their picture. So I can't explain to you how excited I am for this. So yeah, this is the limited edition pen, and I'm just speechless. It is so beautiful. Isn't this the most gorgeous pen you have ever seen? It is for me. And so much symbolism in this pen. There are so many details on the pen itself that are of historic and wonderful meaning for German culture, German language, and German literature. Everything combined in one pen. Let us ink this pen. This is just gorgeous feeling. Wow, the snip just glides so smooth. I did a little bit of writing. This pen truly is gorgeous, so special. So the shape of the pen resembles the walking stick that the old people used when walking from village to village and telling tales. Also, the walking stick is part of many tales. The upper part of the pen is conical shape. It represents the holding part of the stick that you hold when you lean on it. The pen is metal with the golden overlay, and the overlay is made to look like branches coming out of the ground with leaves and thorns, and is referencing the Sleeping Beauty tale. And the Sleeping Beauty in German language is Dornröschen. So letter D stands for that, Dornröschen. So the branches coming out here with a lot of little leaves and so many details that are here for that. The I think the black one is representing Rapunzel, and it has the letter R here instead of the D. The top part, while we are at the Sleeping Beauty, I want to show you the finial of the pen that has Montblanc emblem, snowflake, in mother of pearl material that is surrounded by corally red color, which also symbolizes the branches and leaves of rose trees and bushes surrounding the Sleeping Beauty castle. So the rose surrounding the Montblanc emblem snowflake, and also this overlay is surrounding the pen in the same manner, representing the trees, branches, leaves, and thorns from roses surrounding the Sleeping Beauty castle. The bottom part, the piston knob of the pen, is the shape of the spindle. And the color here also in the Montblanc coral red color references the Sleeping Beauty pricking her finger before falling to sleep. And also in that time, ladies were telling stories while spinning wool in the spindle rooms and telling their children who were bored around and playing aside stories. So the spindle has double meaning. Here at this piston knob, we have the engraving of Kinder und Hausmärchen, which says children's and household tales. Number 50 here, number 50, represents Sleeping Beauty is the 50th story in the collection of tales. And the first edition of the children's and household tales was published in 1812, and I think it had around 200 stories, or 200 stories. No, it was 80 something, and I think later on 200 were totally collected. But first edition was not really appropriate for little children. It is very dark. The way people were telling them to Brothers Grimm, who collected them from old people, from women in their area, from their part of the Germany at that time. And also some of them they collected from the old writings. And then let's move on to the cap of the pen, which on the cap ring has engraved Es war einmal, which is the introduction into all stories, all tales. Once upon a time. Most people know that introduction to the fairy tales. We were talking about this round part. I want to show you the engraving of brothers' signatures. So this is the signature of Jakob Grimm, and this is the signature of Wilhelm Grimm. And together with the engravings, we have on this pen clip the silhouettes of their faces. So Wilhelm, and let me see if I can show this better. Wilhelm on this side and Jakob on this side. So their faces are part of this branch coming out of this round part of the clip. So this is this wooden stick here, the branch. It looks like a branch when you look at this way, but when you turn the pen, you see their silhouettes of their faces, which was so stunning to me when I first saw it on that black edition of the same pen. To the part here, I'm going to come a little bit later. I want to show you the nib. So the nib is 18 karat solid gold, and it has the It is a two-tone nib, and it has the flames of the fire engraved on it. And because fire and flames of the fire are in a lot of tales as part of the tale itself, for example, the witch in Hansel and Gretel falls into the fire and dies that way. Old people with young people were sitting around the fire and telling tales to the younger generations. And Brothers Grimm thought this was the true representation of national language and preserving national heritage and language and culture. That's why this has a lot of meaning. This is the medium tip nib. I think the size of the nib is 1/46 Montblanc size of the nib, as in all writers' editions. And now to come to this round part where the clips come out. It says here, I don't know, let me just try, hold it. It says Göttingen, 7, number 7, and Göttingen, which means the 7 of Göttingen, which are the 7 professors of City University of Göttingen. And Brothers Grimm were 2 among those 7 professors who rebelled at that time against the occupancy of the king and August. So what happened was, as soon as king came to power, he annulled the constitution of 1833. They came together to write that protest letter to the king. And without Brothers Grimm intending it, their public letter turned into public protest. So the students copied the letter and spread it to friends and family throughout Germany. And the 7 professors didn't even anticipate that the reaction of the people would be so large, because people joined this protest throughout Germany. And so the 7 professors became national heroes who stood up to a blatant constitutional break by a monarch. And the king in 1837 reacted harshly and dismissed all 7 professors of Göttingen, and the 3 were even banished from the country. On the down part of this circle in grade we have 2 years. One is 1838 and another one is the year 1971, which represents references Brothers Grimm dictionary work. In 1938, they started collecting words and etymological meanings for the National German Dictionary. And that's why in this nice packaging of Montblanc, you get one book where the pen was sitting with the little booklet. And this I wanted to show you. This is the little booklet that talks and has the little copy of the writings of Brothers Grimm that represent how they were writing words for their dictionary. So this is one of the pages out of their sampling of dictionary entries. And in their lifetime, they came to the letter F. That is what they collected. And then the work was continued from other lexicographers till 1971, when the total German dictionary was fully completed and the work was finished. So this is one of the pages. The last word in their writing was the word fruit, which is so, it has really a meaning, because their work, their literary work and their philology work was really fruitful. So yeah, letter F was the last word they entered into their dictionary. And this is why the pen is so meaningful to me. There's so many times I was schlepping those dictionaries to my translation exams, and yeah, there was no use of computers or phones or anything to check the words. You only had your paper, your source text, and your translating to text and your dictionaries, and that's all. So yeah, since their work was also collecting that dictionary and starting it, it has a huge meaning for me. Jakob Grimm was very important in the work and research of Old German language. There is a Grimm's law that is known in German philology that explains the phonetic changes between different parts of the language changing itself in Germany, and from Indo-European languages to the German language. So I was also learning all about it, and I had one special exam only about historical German grammar, and there we learned all about Grimm's law. And all those changes we had to learn for the exam. Jakob Grimm, he wanted to describe with one of his historical grammatic work the laws and regulations in those phonetic changes in the Old German language. So very, very important for the beginning of the German grammar, of the works of German grammar. So not only they were writers, they were researchers, etymologists, and even linguists. So yeah, and this pen, everything on it tells a story about Brothers Grimm, about telling stories, and no better way to have a pen who tells my own story and with which I can write my own stories and moving forward in the future. So this branch coming out of this circle where it says Göttinger 7 and the years of the German dictionary represent that the root of all language comes from telling tales. So that's why this branch coming out of here is very symbolistic for that. And also branches coming out of here also represent language, German language as we know it today, coming out of children's and household tales, which says down here. And everything also being told at spinning wool places as well as gathered around the fire. I can't even explain how happy I am to own this pen. This means so much to me. I'm beyond grateful. On the 5th of April last month, that's when me and my husband went to the mall, to Montblanc boutique to check some inks, and I found the pen there and decided to go for it. I was saving money a long time for it, and at the same time my husband wanted to also that I purchase it because next day on the 6th of April was our 8th wedding anniversary. So that now commemorates that year too, 8 years of marriage. And I want to show you one more detail from one of the Grimm's tales, this little frog here. Look how cute that is. That is from the Frog King tale, Froschkönig. So super cute, super well thought out. He's hiding here, and I love this little mother of pearl snowflake. I love their faces here. I mean, everything. And the box with the tree on it, because most of the tales are taking place in the woods, or the characters get lost in the wood. So you have on this tree a lot of fairy tale characters, different ones. I don't want to go, I don't know how much you see here about each one, but there's many different characters here, and the letter G for Grimm. Beautiful. Let me show you how this pen writes. I've already written in the unboxing, so you saw that, but let me write a little bit for you here now too. This is such a magnificent pen. When you hold it in your hand, it's a bit heavier, but I don't mind it for journaling in the morning when I take my time and really want to enjoy my own process of writing and putting thoughts on paper. I will now really enjoy doing that. This is something I want to keep in my possession forever, in my family. This means so much to me. So, Montblanc. Homage to Brothers Grimm. This is a medium, and it's inked with Enzo Ferrari purple. The pen is so smooth, so nice. This nib is so well adjusted. No matter how you write, it never skips, it never scratches. It just glides on paper. I can't really explain how good it is. Yeah, I'm really happy with it. I want to thank Montblanc and their creative team for creating such a gorgeous pen. Thank you for watching, and see you next time. Bye.